And welcome back, everyone, to Who Would Win. Today's Who Would Win comes to us from Mind Tool 12, who asked the question, who would in a fight, Hyper Metal Sonic or Ultron? Both are individuals that were created by genius inventors for admittedly different reasons. Metal Sonic was created to defeat Sonic, whereas Ultron was initially created as a peacekeeping program. Uh, I think the Pym version is a little different than the Tony version, but both were generally designed for benevolent reasons and then ultimately did not do benevolent things. Both are highly intelligent death machines, basically. Metal Sonic was created to be everything equal to and superior to Sonic the Hedgehog himself. He's able to match Sonic's speeds in any continuity, and so in the games, that's like Mach 5, and he can go well beyond that if he needs to. In the comics, that's a character who goes well beyond immeasurable speeds. But generally speaking, we look more towards the game version. So we're looking at someone who's going several times the speed of sound easily. Ultron, though, can go faster than that. So he's got the edge in speed. He's also got the edge in durability. Hyper Metal Sonic is actually not all that, I mean, he's well built, but in terms of what he's made of, it's standard metallic, like titanium, steel, all that, whereas you compare that to vibranium, adamantium, that's not a contest either. Durability-wise, Ultron wins. Well, what about function, what they're capable of doing? This is where the real question of who wins this fight comes down to. Because a fight between mechanical android sentient AIs is never going to come down to what, like, their energy capabilities, their energy blast, their durability, because they're programs. They can just move to another body. Hyper Metal Sonic usually has survived losses to Sonic and come back even stronger. Ultron has survived losses and just come back even more dangerous than before. Ultron also has the advantage of being able to access Pym particles, now that I found that out in the comics within the last year. So he can also shrink into micro universes like Pym can. So that is quite the advantage he has there. But the question comes down to Hyper Metal Sonic's ability to scan an individual's data, life data, and copy that ability. Now, I've never to date known if he has to actually see the ability get used first, or if it's kind of like in a Mazo scenario where he literally just looks at something and copies it verbatim. I've never quite understood if that's okay, dog. Okay, thank God. Thought she was about to go out and do the same thing she did last time, where I had to stop the video and then bring her back inside. I've never known if it's he can just scan you and figure it. Okay, come on. That's fine. Now let her outside. If he has to scan you after seeing the ability used, or if you can just scan what everything you are and then kind of add it to himself. I believe it's the latter, to be honest, but I do believe if a specific ability is shown, he'll copy that ability as well. This is important because Ultron's AI, his intelligence, his ability to use it effectively has led him to conquer entire races of sentient AI himself. The Phalanx, I think they're called. He's conquered them. He's conquered whole empires of AI. His AI is nuts powerful, and honestly could very well corrupt Hyper Metal Sonic. Despite all of Hyper Metal Sonic's advantages and coming back, Eggman's AI isn't necessarily the best around. It has been cracked before. It has certainly is not like the highest degree AI in all of comics, and Ultron is definitely displayed as something of a higher advanced AI. The problem is, if he gets copied, all of his abilities by Metal Sonic, or like all of his base components, because Pym Particle is separate from Ultron, I have a feeling that's something he wouldn't be able to copy right out. Then he's just going to be able to match Ultron beat for beat, no matter what not for physicality, mind you, but for intellect and energy abilities. Not to mention that Hyper Metal Sonic can in fact use the Chaos Force or Chaos Control to a certain degree, like stopping time temporarily. That's problematic because Ultron should be able to hack Hyper Metal Sonic without too much difficulty. There's certainly firewalls in there, but it's nothing that I think Ultron couldn't get through. But if he's already copied him, then that's going to prove a bit of a immovable object meets an unstoppable force kind of thing. But Ultron also has scanners. Could he scan and find that this thing's able to copy me. This thing just copied me. Well, this is problematic. So could he somehow stop Hyper Metal Sonic from doing that? I don't think so. But it comes down to one other thing, like I said. The Pym particles are not a natural thing to Ultron. They're not part of his system. He can use them and access them, but it's not part of his, let's call it life data, as I think it's kind of been described as. It's not part of his original makeup. He's added it to there, which means I think they might be a separate thing. And if that is the case, and Hyper Metal Sonic doesn't copy those, and this is all a big if right now, I just don't know if he would. Like everything Ultron normally is, I think he'd copy minus like the adamant, the physicality of him, because he can't copy that. At least I don't think he can copy that. Let me know if he can copy that, because I know he kind of actually can have like a metal, like a liquid metal form. So I don't know if he could scan the vibranium shell and adjust the durability of that. I don't know if he could do that. But if he doesn't copy the Pym particles, which right now I would go with he couldn't, then Ultron would win the fight, because we've seen what happens when some of the Pym particles shrinks through something electronic. Even in the movies and in the comics, we've seen you can cause a lot of damage very quickly, expand into it, just destroy him from the inside out, and he'd have durability to survive it. So, yeah, I would be leaning towards Ultron in this, but the minute Hyper Metal Sonic copies Ultron's base abilities, Ultron's going to be in trouble for a while until he figures out, okay, he didn't copy the Pym particles. I've still got a shot here. So yeah, I would go Ultron in this fight, but I feel like it would be drawn out for a little while. They'd be trading blows. Eventually, he copies Ultron, and they're kind of having a battle of AI will, only for Ultron to realize he has not copied my Pym particles. Disappears and then destroys it from the inside out. That would be my best guess, but I'm not an expert when it comes to Metal Sonic. There's a couple things about Metal Sonic I'm just not 100% sure on. If there's someone in the comments or my viewership who watches this that knows more about Hyper Metal Sonic than me, please let me know in the comments below if my assessment is probably correct or if there's things I am missing with Hyper Metal Sonic. But until then, thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed. Like, comment, share, subscribe, and I'll see you for the next one.